Most indoor plants don't die suddenly. They warn you first. Quietly. Slow growth. Tiny color changes. Strange leaning. A leaf that looks slightly off. But here's the problem, most people only notice their plants once the damage becomes dramatic. And by then, the plant has often been stressed for weeks. Today, I'm going to show you the hidden warning signs your plant gives before it starts dying. These are the subtle, biological signals that most beginners completely miss. Because once you learn to read these signs, plant care starts feeling completely different. One of the biggest mistakes in indoor gardening is thinking healthy plants always look perfect. They don't. Plants communicate gradually. Stress usually appears in layers. Not all at once. If you can recognize the early signs, you can fix problems before serious damage happens underground. That's the real difference between beginners and experienced plant owners. They simply notice problems earlier. In this video, we're going beyond obvious yellow leaves. We'll talk about subtle behavioral changes and hidden root clues. Part 1, the plant stops growing normally. This is the earliest warning sign people ignore. Healthy plants usually grow with rhythm. Consistent movement. New leaves. Root development. Steady structure. When that rhythm suddenly slows down, something is wrong. When did your plant last grow? I once had a pothose that looked visually fine. But weeks passed with absolutely no new growth. Plants don't just communicate through damage. Sometimes they communicate through silence due to compacted soil or root shock. Part 2, leaves start looking tired. They don't immediately turn yellow. They slowly lose visual energy. Healthy leaves reflect light beautifully. They are structured, firm, and vibrant. Unhappy plants lose that vitality first. Leaves appear dull, weak, slightly curled, and lifeless. Plants under stress reduce energy usage. The plant becomes quieter and less expressive visually. Part 3, reaching aggressively toward light. Extreme leaning often signals insufficient biological lighting. I placed a snake plant deep inside a dark shelf. It stretched awkwardly toward the window to survive. Humans perceive rooms differently than plants. A room that feels bright enough to you may be dark biologically. Part 4, the soil behavior changes. The soil itself often reveals stress before the plant does. Soil staying wet too long, drying unusually fast, or smelling strange signals major root problems. I had a plant drying extremely fast. The roots were so compacted that water rushed right through. Part 5, unusual sensitivity. Healthy plants are resilient. Stressed plants become fragile and reactive. Slight temperature shifts, moving the pot, or dry air start affecting the plant intensely. Part 6, sacrificing older leaves. When resources are limited, plants prioritize survival over aesthetics. They actively redirect energy away from older leaves to protect newer growth. It is a calculated survival strategy. Part 7, the atmosphere feels different. Stressed plants change the room's energy subconsciously. The area feels heavy. Part 8, stopping response to care. You try watering, fertilizer, better light, but the plant seems stuck. At advanced stress stages, plants temporarily stop responding because internal recovery underground takes weeks. Part 9, looking too still. Healthy plants show micro-movements, leaves shifting, new unfurling growth. A plant that hasn't changed at all in weeks might be frozen quietly in survival mode. Part 10, window stress. Windows create extreme microclimates, sudden heat spikes, cold drafts, intense afternoon light. Part 11, the fake healthy plant. Some plants preserve their appearance long after internal root stress has started. They maintain their outer structure while secretly struggling underground. Never rely only on appearance. Observe patterns. Successful indoor gardening is not about reacting to disasters. It's about noticing quiet changes before disasters happen. What plant worries you the most right now? Comment below. Subscribe to the Urban Leaf. Plants rarely ask for attention loudly. They whisper first. Listen closely.